Hello everybody, Posey here. Welcome to another episode of Rapid Review. I know that it hasn't been a long time since the last one came out on Across the Spider-Verse, but I just saw the Mario movie, or the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I suppose, is what it's actually called. But regardless, I saw it today in theaters with a couple of my friends who've been asking me to see it with them for a while. So what did I think of this movie? Well, this is going to be a bit of a shorter video because I don't really have as much to say, because my feelings on this movie aren't really that strong, unlike the last three that I've reviewed. So this is going to be pretty concise, I'd say. But overall, I thought this was a pretty fun experience. It was a solid movie. I would give it maybe a 7 out of 10, if I'm being generous. I was thinking about 6 out of 10, but I feel like I enjoyed it more than enough to justify a 7 out of 10. But that's as high as I'll give it, because I do have some problems with this movie. But overall, fun experience. The characters were pretty decent. I will stress this, okay? I haven't actually played much Mario in my life, so I really only had, this movie to go off of from establishing their characters. I didn't really have the material in front of me to kind of use this as a bouncing point off of that. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but my point is, basically, this movie had to make me like these characters, and I think the movie did a decent job of that. I think Mario is a pretty fun protagonist, so is Luigi. He's a fun character. I kind of wish Luigi got more to do, to be honest. He got kind of sidelined and shafted for the majority of the film, but, he was fun. I like Princess Peach. I like DK. Toad was pretty funny, even though he didn't really do anything. He just kind of tagged along on the adventure, and no one questioned it, which was funny. But yeah, all pretty fun cast. I think the standout for me was definitely Bowser, voiced by Jack Black. He did a fantastic job, and I just love villains who are complete haters of their protagonist. Like, they just have an insanely irrational personal vendetta against their protagonist for whatever petty reason. And for Bowser, it's because he's jealous of the fact that Princess Peach likes Mario, that, they're friends and stuff. I think that's hilarious. And he's just generally a really funny villain. And I'm glad that they went with the casting, because I really think Jack Black brought the energy to the table that this character needed. So, yeah, Bowser was definitely a standout. The rest of the characters, as I said, are pretty solid. I wouldn't say any of them are really amazing. They don't really get much time to be developed, to be honest, because this movie is very fast-paced. And that's really my main gripe with it. I've seen people discuss the ridiculously fast pace of the Mario movie before without being spoiled. I know some people, like, for example, Moist Critical, I watched his review. Moist Critical said it didn't really bother him, that he actually appreciated it. And I'm sorry, I just can't agree. I really don't like the pacing, or at least for some parts of the movie. I thought that the way that some scenes just go by super fast is honestly super jarring to me. Like, for example, when Mario first meets Peach, Mario doesn't even tell Peach his name. Like, he just gives her the most basic information, and then Peach is like, oh, you want to come on this adventure? Sure, come on this adventure. Go train now. And the scene just goes by so quickly, it just doesn't feel natural. Like, the way these characters would, like, I can't imagine that in the real, well, I mean, I know it is not the real world, I know it's a movie, but realistically, I feel like Mario would have more questions, would want to talk to Princess Peach more about the world. I feel like one quick scene that, establishes them kind of getting to know each other before he starts training would have done wonders here. As it is, it just feels very whiplashy, very awkward, and just jarring. And there's a couple moments like that in the movie. And, yeah, it's kind of my biggest problem with it. And also, the use of licensed music in places where they could have used just music from the Mario franchise, itself, is kind of weird. They have songs like I Need a Hero and Take On Me, where they really could have just used, soundtracks from the games. And I guess I don't really have much of a personal stake in this issue because, again, I haven't really played the games, but I like to see, video game OST being elevated to movies. And the Sonic movies didn't really do that much. They kind of missed a lot of opportunities. I do like those movies, by the way, but they missed a lot of opportunities with the music, and it's a shame that Mario kind of does the same thing, although it does incorporate a little bit more of the OST, I would say. So yeah, that's another issue, although I don't really care that much, as again, I haven't played the games, but I really would like to see more OST in video game adaptations. Regardless, just a really fun movie in general. Everything was pretty decent. There's nothing really stand out in either like a negative or a positive sense, which is why I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. Visually, this was a pretty impressive movie. I like the animation style. It's kind of like cartoony and elastic, and I think that really works for like a Mario setting. I do think they did a good job translating like the world of the Mario games into 3D animation. Like all the locations look really cool. The movie is definitely really pretty, and I love the Rainbow Road sequence. That was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, if not my favorite. Of course, nothing is really going to live up to Spider-Verse in terms of visuals, so I didn't go in with those high expectations. But as it stands, for the purposes of this movie, I think the animation was good. And I don't really have much more to talk about. Like, the story is very simple. I thought it was nice. It had a really good resolution. I liked the bond between Mario and Luigi and their little arc. Nothing really, like, crazy happened. It was just, a solid movie. And that's really all there is to say on the matter. So, again, 7 out of 10. Let me know what your thoughts were on the Mario movie. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.